3, 2, 1.
Hey y'all, hey, let's get into this intuitive reading, this intuitive message for King Von. This reading is alleged and for entertainment purposes. Sometimes the tea is hot and sometimes it's not. You have to watch the video to the end to determine for yourself. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Oh, if you're new here, welcome. If you're always here, welcome back. Like, comment, and subscribe, friend. All right. I don't know what made me want to do this one, but it just was on my spirit. And I said, absolutely. So I'm tapping into his energy because what? Energy never dies. Y'all have to understand that. Anywho, Spirit is acknowledging ancestrally, he's acknowledging that there is something that is bubbling at the belly and bubbling at the throat and it's going to get out, not just with Spirit, but he's speaking in reference to himself too. Like, I'm working on something, making sure that it gets out, it gets out, it gets out. This is a matter of the heart. So I have to do it because this is a matter of the heart. You know, and the thing about time, I'm hearing it, thank you, Spirit, is that time here, we look at the clock and we're like, nah, 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 nah. But time in the spiritual world is not like time here. And I don't know if it's faster or slower, but it does its own thing. And so sometimes we get so impatient with our request to Spirit, to God, to Source, because we want things to happen so microwavably fast that it's not going to, because spiritual realm, the parallel universe, does its own thing on its own time, and what? It's always on time. Okay, so he's acknowledging that there is something coming out on time. Communication, honesty, courage, sharing, revelation, surprise news, text, and a phone call. It is what it is. This is going to have somebody having a come to Jesus moment. They're going to be talking that truth this time. They're going to be like, I did it. Okay. Truthful communication, integrity, divine intervention, surrender, reconciliation. Why? Spirit is acknowledging because this person, this energy, it feels like a male energy, but it's dual. It's very layered. It's several people that cross this man, but he's acknowledging like it's a head man, a head female, and they were raised in a barn. He's acknowledging that their foundation is just completely off. Like, now they trying to have this cookie cutter image, but he was like, at the time of the situation, when the situation was a situation, were you raised in a barn? You know what I'm saying? Debt is debt. I don't care if it's from 1980. I don't care if it's from yesterday. Debt is debt. Okay, you owe this man. Okay, anywho. And they, you know, they blow in the wind, air sign energy, they blow with the wind. And he's acknowledging they got poor manners, lack of tact, discourtesy, impoliteness, social grace is required. Okay, ashe, ashe, ashe. Oh, in the middle of the deck, Spirit is acknowledging that they're running around here like a chicken with their head cut off because they're trying to find directions. There's water, could be emotional, could be a water sign, but he's acknowledging that they putting their boats into the water, trying to find which one gonna stick because they running around here like a chicken with their head cut off. Okay, very busy, overwhelmed, frenzy, deadline, stress, chaos, refocus, and redo for best results. And he's acknowledging that his energy has something to do with this. And they showing me the movie Ghost. You remember the Ghost when he was like, oh, y'all gonna pay for doing this to me? And he got everybody like hearing things crawling up the walls, things is moving and they don't know how. You know what I'm saying? It's getting with their mind. That's what it said. Okay, that's what it said. All right, so King Von moving in love and light. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Oh, gentle gardener. 2 is significant. Do you harbor resentment? You know what, sir? Let it go. Okay. How often do you reinforce negativity by affirming a lack and limitation? Every time you send out the desire for something, but secretly harbor a belief that you're undeserving of it, you plant weeds in the field of your dreams. When the gentle gardener appears in the reverse position, she reminds you, she reminds you to be aware of any negative thoughts or selfish motives. She encourages you to step back and pay close attention to what thoughts and thought seeds you sent out into the world. Weeds choke the life out of your beautiful garden. No need to fret, however, because once you recognize this, you can always remove a bad seed. You can always remove a bad seed. You can always remove a bad seed and replace it with a healthy one. Forgiveness is your most powerful restorative tool. Let me tell you something. This is something that he is learning in the spiritual realm. Forgiveness, forgiveness, forgiveness. How to sow better seeds, how to garden his till his garden even better the next time if that opportunity comes his way. And it feels like, you know, when people want to come back, they do what they do. It ain't my business because I don't know. It's a download. I tell you that all the time. But more importantly, this information was for you as well, because that is what source, that is what energy does. That is what spirit does. They try to right their wrongs and they try to make sure that we understand it on a higher intuitive level. What he is saying is don't harbor negativity. You know, if something is not right in your life, remove it. It's as simple as picking a weed out of the garden. To some, others not. That ain't my business. All right, King Von, what do you want to share moving in love and light? Spirit is acknowledging the Two of Swords. There's been some indecisiveness. There's still a choice that needs to be made. Facing fears, divided loyalty because of divided loyalty. Denial, undecided avoidance, inability to see the truth. There is someone that is still suffering in regards to what they did to him. And he's acknowledging that. He sees that. He feels that. That energy is picking up on that. Subconsciously, Spirit is saying with the Seven of Wands, this person is very strong-willed, could be a fire sign, very protective and taking a stand, and felt like because of the energy, the time, well, whatever the situation was, the situation, they felt very vindictive and very vindicated in their actions. Thank you, Spirit. Very fiery, passionate, but chaotic energy. Spirit said this person is to blame. They were forceful. They were assertive. They were busy, and they were resisting the change that needed to be had, that needed to be made. This man was trying to change some things, okay? In the middle of the deck, Spirit is acknowledging. He's saying that this is a man. This man is in front of the house. He owns the house. He's in front of the house. Okay. All right. So this person, foundation wise, goes after the bag. He chases that bag. He runs that bag down. He's carrying. Okay. Conservative, practical, responsible, persistent, a long-term goal and rewards, very ambitious. This is what Spirit is saying. So Spirit said, go ahead and ask the questions. I'm just go ahead and ask the question. King Von, how do you feel about Little Dirk? Current energy. Thank you. With the Page of Wands, he's like, good news, cheerful, open-minded, playful, charismatic, and a lovable and explorative person. He's acknowledging this. He's saying this person is a fire sign energy, kind of passionate, chaotic. He really goes after that spark, okay? He says on the surface, okay? On the bottom of the deck, I love when Spirit does this. Okay, he says the Knight of the Pentacles. Okay, he's conservative, practical, responsible, persistent, long-term goals and rewards, very ambitious. He owns the house. He has the bag. He chases the bag. He gets the bag. In the middle of the deck, he said this man need to be ready for a fight. He is always up for a fight, though. He's an air sign, or he could be an air sign, but he's acknowledging that this person thinks ahead. So it's kind of hard to catch up with this man, okay, when it comes to actions, because his actions do speak louder than his words, but he's always like 10 steps ahead, thinking about the next way, how somebody gonna move kind of energy. He's acknowledging. He seems very assertive, prepared, talkative, impatient, perfectionist, a hero, seen as a hero now, seen as a soldier, and very brave, okay? All right. Not my business. Not my business. Not my business. I don't want to ask no more questions about that. Ain't my business. Spirit is acknowledging with the Lover's card that he's acknowledging that there was an intimate relationship and he needed to make a choice. He didn't know which way to go. There was a lot of sex and partnership and balance. Said he had a good time here. So consciously, the King of Swords. Interesting. There's some air sign energy that this person, because of this relationship, came and hit the gavel. Came and said, you know what? You got to go. Because of this romantic relationship. Now, I don't know who he was fooling around with, but it pissed this male energy off, this King of Swords, this air sign energy off, pissed him off. Wise man, intelligent. He was the authority. He said, you know what? Gots to go. Touching mine. And so now Spirit's in the middle of the deck. There's recovery. There's light at the end of the tunnel. And he's learning to cope with his new energy where he is now with the Nine of Swords, acknowledging that this is not what he foresaw. Nine of Swords in reverse, negative thoughts about this whole thing. But he's learning to cope. He sees the light at the end of the tunnel. You understand? What was King Von's biggest obstacle? Yeah, feels like a relationship. So we say it. We just go ahead and put it out there. So feels like this was, some people kind of first saw this as something else, but this was about a man who kind of like tiptoed in another man's backyard. Not my business, okay? With the Devil card, he's acknowledging his biggest obstacle was leaving a bad situation, unable to do so, not being able to be free and seek freedom and have freedom and reclaiming his power. Another big obstacle for him at the time with the Empress. So he was a female. See what I'm saying? There's an energy of bad parenting, dependency, and negligence. That was another energy of a big obstacle. A female brought a lot of energy towards him. That was an obstacle for him. This female could have had a child by him. Okay. And another big obstacle for him was the Temperance card. Being reckless, lack of self-control, and excess. He's acknowledging those were obstacles for him. All right. Last message. Thank you, Spirit. He's acknowledging with the Emperor that he was a father, that he was masculine, that he was respected, that he was logical, he was structured. He wanted to protect his kids. He's seeing himself as father of the year. It says dad, best in the world. Subconsciously with the Page of Wands, he is acknowledging that he's coming through with fresh energy, childlike, new ideas, very creative and cheerful. Fire sign energy, very passionate, very chaotic. He's acknowledging that this is an energy around a kid that he's around. So he's acknowledging that there's a kid, that one of his children, I don't know who, it feels like it's a boy, but he's just very, very vivacious, and he likes being around this energy. It makes him feel very childlike himself. But he sees them, he watches over them. With the Two of Cups, he's also acknowledging in the middle of the deck that there's a relationship, like love, like somebody is still like very attached to his energy in a very romantic way. That this child was made out of love, this little boy was made out of love, but there's still just like this mutual respect and this compatibility, like we have balance, like me and this person have balance. Cups, a water sign energy, very emotional, but he's just acknowledging like, yeah, this right here that was it. Me and this person was like solid. We rocked. Okay, something else on the middle of the deck, and then we'll stop. Spirit is acknowledging that in life, he wants everybody to know, to find balance, to understand the deeper meaning of life, to be patient, to approach situations carefully, to always seek harmony, to focus on balance, and the soulmates will come like in this energy. It's not about like, some people hear soulmates, sometimes they be talking about like physical, like this is my soulmate. Soul, the matters of the soul and mates, like we always interact with people, and we want to interact on the energy of the soul, so that the soul is having the first interaction. Sometimes we think so physical, but you want your soul to have that interaction first. Does that make sense? Like you want to feel the energy of someone, and you want to bond and connect in that energy, because that's one of the highest vibrations that we can do and have an experience with people. All right, I share to the ancestors, I share to the universe.